On our journey today, we're going to check out a photo of John and Yoko at the southeast quadrant of the Dakota's courtyard. So, slide on your backpack and grab your passport and come along with me as we travel back in time. This video is sponsored by Audible Adventures. Kindly sign up for an annual subscription today. It is a great way to support my research and my productions. Welcome along, fellow time travelers. This is Scott Cardinal. Thanks for joining me on another photo analysis video. Today, we are traveling back in time to New York City in 1980. So, let's start our photo analysis. Actually, before I begin, kindly allow me to mention a couple of things. For starters, I'm trying to keep these videos short. I know a lot of people have asked me to make them longer, but I look at the analytics of my videos and the videos of friends of mine, and the simple truth of the matter is we don't live in the same world we used to. People lose interest in things real fast. People don't have the attention spans they used to. People watch things for about a minute or two and then they take off to scroll through photos on Instagram or Facebook, and I just wish that wasn't the case, but it is. So I'm trying to make it fast, get as much information out there as I can, hit and run before people split to go look at photos of cats. Also, recently someone asked me why I keep showing photos of John Lennon on the covers of my videos. Well, look, I've been talking about the Dakota my entire life. I've lectured about it, I've written books about it, I've produced videos about it. I could talk for hours on end about the architecture and the design and the history of the building without ever mentioning John Lennon. And I have. But the simple truth of the matter is, in the back of most people's minds, they're just waiting for me to mention John Lennon. I'm not happy about this, and I'm sure John Lennon would not be happy about this, but that's just the world we live in. And so it seems to me that the best thing that I can do, and that would be beneficial for everyone, is to kind of have a John Lennon angle once in a while, such as photos like this, and then once people are lured in, I've got them for a few minutes, and I've got a chance to try to teach people a little bit about the building. You know this isn't a college course. No one's being tested. I can't talk about everything, but I could do the best I can as quickly as I can. And people seem to be appreciating the effort. But there's just a lot of people who are obsessed with celebrities. I'm not one of them. I like talking about old buildings and gardens. And so somewhere along the line, I think maybe we have found together some sort of balance. And so off we go. This photo was chosen because it shows the entry to the lobby in the southeast quadrant of the Dakota's courtyard. By all accounts, it was taken by Japanese photographer Kishin Shinayama. Yeah, I'm sure I probably pronounced that incorrectly, but it's the best I can do without knowing, so relax. According to info on his website, in 1980, Yoko Ono asked Shinayama to shoot the artwork for her and John Lennon's collaborative album Double Fantasy. So, clearly in the foreground, we see John Lennon on the left and Yoko Ono on the right. Behind the photographer was one of the water fountains. That means, to the right, and behind the photographer, probably about 15 feet away, was the inner gate that divides the courtyard with the Dakota's entryway. On the left can be seen a window. Now, when the Dakota was built, and for many years later, that window allowed light to enter a storage room for the Dakota's restaurant. And inside were refrigerators that stored milk and butter and wine. There was also a storage area for oysters. You're probably wondering, how the hell does he know that? Trust me, I know. In fact, I'll probably do a photo analysis video on the layout of the basement someday. Hopefully people won't fall asleep while listening. Anyway, looking up, you can see a large window that was for a room to a small apartment. Now that space was later acquired by John and Yoko and used as office space. Now jump on over to the right. On the lower right, you can see a window. Now that was a small space that was next to a dining room for female staff of the Dakota in the 1880s and for years after. In later years, that space would be repurposed into a bathroom for the duplex apartment behind the Dakota's security office. Now, above that is another window, and that allows light to shine into a space that's now used for the mailroom behind the Dakota's office. When the Dakota was first built, that was a ladies' waiting room as part of the Dakota's restaurant. Legend has it that the walls were hand-painted by the famous sisters Kathleen and Eleanor Greatorix, whose mother was the legendary Eliza Pratt Greatorix. Because this photo is not in color, it's impossible to know that, despite years of soot and dirt upon the bricks, they really are a very cheerfully colored buff yellow. Now, in the center can be seen the flight of steps that leads up to a large set of mahogany doors. It's not too easy to see because of the darkness and the shadows, but there are actually 7 steps that lead up to a platform in front of the doors. And there are brass railings on each side. Beneath all the steps are glass blocks that allow some light to penetrate below, and they're used kind of in the same sort of function as the glass blocks around the perimeter of the water fountains. And looking up above, you can see pretty designs carved into the stone. And so that's pretty much it, but incidentally, in my last video, I was called a conspiracy theorist by some weirdos because I doubted some accounts that I read that said after John Lennon was shot, he walked all the way to this area, which is about 65 feet from the entry to the building, and he ascended these steps, and he pushed open those doors and went into the lobby, where Yoko supposedly ran after hearing gunshots. It seems to me that if Lennon went anywhere, it would be the security office next to the entryway. And I know there are accounts that say that happened also, but there are stories that claim that he did stroll along and he went here. And if you want to believe that, that's fine with me. I don't care. Believe whatever you want. It doesn't make me a conspiracy theorist to wonder how the hell John Lennon got shot and walked 65 feet and went all the way to this lobby. Think what you want. Has no effect on my life at all. Anyway, once inside, there is a staircase straight ahead, there is an elevator to the right, and on the left is the entry to a hallway that leads to the apartments, including the space that John and Yoko used for their offices. And so this concludes this photo analysis of a photo of John and Yoko at the southeast quadrant of the Dakota's courtyard. I hope that this gives you a good understanding of how interesting and beautiful the Dakota's apartment building is, and that there's a lot more to the Dakota than what happened to John Lennon there. If you have any thoughts about this subject matter, please put those in the comments below and share what's on your mind. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You could also go on Amazon or any other bookseller and order some of my books about the Dakota. Please download the Audible Adventures app for your iPhone or Android. I do look forward to you joining me again for another photo analysis video. So until next time, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.